What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to an evening episode, a very special evening episode of Empowered Conversations. Empowered Conversations is where I have amazing conversations with extraordinary people who are out in the world doing beautiful things in service to others and all around just living their best lives. And this is my second time having this guest. His name is John Corbellini. So it is double trouble for the Empowered Conversations podcast this week. He is, so John is, the reason I wanted to bring him back is he was on before and there were some technicality issues with the internet. And so we didn't get a good recording. And he had such value. He is such value, especially to the world of men and empowering men to see their worth and value and operate from that space. He is also a motivational speaker, and he's the founder of JAC Coaching and Strategic Intervention. He is also the co-founder, he is a published author in the Write and Shine magazine. John believes we all have greatness inside of us. Through working with him, he helps his clients discover what is holding them back and creates a mindset roadmap, love that, which resets those patterns that keep one existing an average. It's your turn to choose. It's your decision. It's a state of mind. It won't be easy being exceptional. It really isn't. It's work. It will bring you to your knees. You will cry. You will hurt. You will fail. But you will rise again and you will be seen. Everybody, drum roll, please. Help me in welcoming John Corbellini. Whoop, whoop! How you doing?
I am doing awesome. How you doing?
Here I am.
I have to, before we even start, I have to compliment you on yesterday's guest, Kelly.
Oh, thank you. She was fabulous.
Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. She totally rocked it. And I related to her on point after point after point.
Yes.
Like I got to connect with her. Because somehow I got to connect with her. So send me a link or something, please.
Oh, absolutely. She's truly amazing. Her story was so
I was in tears.
Wow. In tears.
Yeah.
You know, and
what she overcame and what and everything that she's brought to this world as because of it. God bless her. I wish her nothing but success. Wow.
Absolutely. She really is truly amazing. Carol's on. What's up, Carol? Whoop, whoop. Carol Boston. Get it, girl. Oh my God. Thank you again for making you're one of she says two of my favorite people. You're one of our favorite people too, Carol Boston. Hail to the yeah.
Carol's on the other side of the camera this time.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Carol's on the other side of the camera this time.
I know. Carol, you're so fabulous. So I really do appreciate you making the time to come back on and speak to my audience and speak to my people and share your gifts, share your value, because you do bring such value to the world, John. And that's why I had to have you come back on to where this can be streamed to YouTube permanently and brought onto all the platforms, because people need to see you, they need to feel you, they need to hear your voice and what you hold so fervently in your heart. And my biggest question, where I like to start with every single guest, and I know we've already done this, but a little bit of it will be a repeat, because again, it's about telling your why. I like to get to the heart of my guests' why, the deepest part of their soul, the deepest part of why they do what they do. What epiphanies, what stories, what experiences, what revelations, what all happened within John Corbellini's life that brought him to be like, you know what? I want to empower other men to be their best selves.
How far back you want to go? First of all, thank you for
inviting me. However far back you want to go. However
Thank
far
you
back
for
you want to go.
inviting me a second time. It is an
You are
honor and
welcome.
a privilege to be here. I sincerely mean it. Well, if you want to if you want to really go all the way back to the beginning when this whole thing started, is when I was adopted when I was 6 months old. And my birth parents had given me up for adoption. And somewhere, somehow, this belief that if my own parents didn't want me, I'm not worth anything got stuck in my head. And I stacked on top of it for decades and decades. I just stacked on top of it. I never went after the girl. I never tried out for the sports team. I didn't really push myself in school because I wasn't worth it. I
Mhm.
didn't fight back when somebody was picking on me. I became an easy target because I wasn't worth it. That's what I believed because my own parents didn't want me. It was it and the parents, my parents that raised me and adopted me, loved me more than anything in this world, but that didn't come into play for a long time. I didn't put that part together for a long time. So I finally had uh, a I finally had that moment where I just had to deal with what's going on here. Go back to your furthest memory, and it was actually a Tony Robbins event that did this for me. Took me back to my furthest memory, and I couldn't think that far back. So I'm saying, all right, you know what? I just closed my eyes. I said, you know what? I don't know where I need to go, but what he's teaching has to stick. I got to go somewhere here. And all of a sudden, I'm back to where it's like I remembered when I was given up for adoption. My birth parents didn't not want me. They loved me so much that they rolled the dice. They took a chance that somebody else would be able to give me the kind of life that they couldn't give me. Everything changed. Everything changed.
Right.
All the bullshit in my belief system, all of it.
Cold
It just,
chills.
oh, and
For a second time of
but
hearing that story, cold chills.
yeah, yeah, seriously. But that was just that one issue. I had still stacked on top of that for you, and I had to deal with all of that.
Mhm.
And um, that's the self-image stuff. That's the I'm not enough. That's the bullshit in your belief system. Okay, how do you get past that? Well, I came home from that one weekend, however many years ago it was, and my wife told me she wanted out. She wanted a divorce. That was it. Nothing to talk about. So one of the things that we talk about is about decisions, making a decision, right, and
Mhm.
sticking to it. That decision to end our marriage was made for me. It was not made by me. But
Right.
I had a choice. What I do from that point on is a decision that is made by me. I'm going to make that decision. You're looking at a blank piece of paper and it's empty and there's nothing on it. Oh my God, my life, it's over. There's nothing there. Or you can look at that blank piece of paper and put anything you want on it. It's your
Abso-freaking-lutely.
page, your paper.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
What do you want to put on it? What is it that you never did that you want to do? When we got divorced, I noticed that all of her girlfriends kind of rallied around her, and I was
Mhm.
kind of on my own. Now I had my male friends, let's go out for a beer, and just whatever it is, but that's not what I needed. I didn't know what I
Right.
needed, but I knew that wasn't it. So I started doing some really inner work, some deep inner work, and I figured it out. And I found people who were able to help me, who understood where I was,
Mhm.
um, and I got it back together again. I got that foundation set. I got it smoothed out again. I understood. And I say to myself, you know what, if I can do this, I can help other people do this. Now I had
Thank
a
you.
I had an advantage. I had an unfair advantage, and I'm exploiting it every chance I get. Um, as a guy, I know how to talk to guys. We use a certain language, body language, dirty words, whatever we there's a language that we have. We communicate a certain way. Okay. But the vast majority of my friends growing up were girls.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right. So I kind of
I
grew up in
believe it.
that
I
ethic.
see that.
You know what I
I
mean?
see that.
Yeah. So I learned how to talk to women. I learned how to, and that sounds hypocritical because I'm divorced now. And I couldn't make it work then, but that's a whole
Yeah.
different story. But I learned how to talk to women. I understand men and women think differently. They process things differently. They communicate differently. Guys don't get this. Women do. So let me start with this. Let me start with there is um, men are brought up with things like boys don't cry, men don't
Right.
cry. You
Mhm.
got to Bloody nose, a scraped knee, your arm's still attached. Get back in the football game. You don't cry. Girls cry. So, and it's that repression of emotion is part of the reason that men are so damn stubborn, dense, and thick-headed. And they're afraid. They're terrified. A man's biggest fear, ladies, listen to me. A man's biggest fear is to appear weak in front of you. Period. I don't care what else is going on. You cannot appear weak in front of you. You can't. But women, we're taught it's okay to feel and experience the emotions. Listen, think about this for a minute. When a guy tells a story, this happened, that happened, the other thing happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're there. You're there. You're experiencing
exactly.
it.
You are experiencing it. You are feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you took an event, you attached an emotion to it, and now there's a memory burned in your mind. And when you relive that memory, you can't just give facts. It's the whole thing. It just comes out of you, and that's beautiful. There is what I call an emotional color palette. Okay, you love your parents. That's a certain color. That's a certain let's say you love is the color red. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You love your parents. That's a certain shade of red. You love your boyfriend or your girlfriend. That's another shade of red. You love your children. That's a different shade of red. Every emotion has this color palette, different shades. Whoop! Somebody's calling me. Off. Sorry. Every emotion has a different shade of color depending on what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. Men never learn this. Women understand this inherently. It's not a question. You guys got this. I learned it. Guys still have a hard time with knowing when you want our help because we don't want to seem weak in front of you. So we want to help you fix whatever it is that's broken.
Right.
Men don't understand that sometimes you just want to say, shut up and listen.
And I'll be honest.
Yeah, because women, ladies, you have your own brain. You know how to figure things out for yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll be honest, though, I'm a fixer as well. I don't think
doing it is difficult.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I have a lot of natural masculinity about me as well. It's like, I don't know, I was a tomboy as a kid, and I'm a fixer. I'm a doer. I'm a thinker. I'm a let's make shit happen. Let's take care of shit. I mean, I'm very feminine as well, but I feel like that I do have a balance of masculine in me that I feel is healthy when it comes to being rational and logical and decisive, being able to make quick decisions and act on things quickly. But then there's this emotional side that it's like what you're saying, and it's frustrating at times when you're dealing with people who are just so much one or the other. And
it is. Yeah. But you know what? Every man and every woman on this planet has both masculine and feminine in them. Period.
Yeah, absolutely. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Yes.
Gentlemen, if you're listening, if you don't believe me, simple test. Go to your doctor, get a blood test, find out how much estrogen is flowing through your system right now. It's
there. We all have testosterone and estrogen. Yes.
Absolutely you do. And this is part of where the confusion comes from, because when guys start to feel something and they get uncomfortable and I can't cry in front of my wife or my girlfriend. I'm going to be weak. It's showing weakness. No, it's not. It's the greatest strength you will ever have, guys, is your emotions. Period. End of discussion.
Thank you.
Learn how to use them. Learn how to use those emotions. Learn how to feel them. You want your relationship with your significant other to be better? Learn how to feel.
Carol says reframe. Carol said reframe. Yes.
Carol always reframe. And what else is possible? And I stole that from her, and I told her about it months ago. I use it all the time. But yeah, this is what it's about. What else is possible? How can you reframe this? You're not weak. You're doing something she needs you to do, guys. She needs you to feel. This is not rocket science. She needs you to just feel.
But again, society it's not that just men are born with this inherent sense. I mean, yeah, we're born with certain inherencies, but I think a lot of it is a conditioning, and outside of ourselves conditioning, telling us how to be, how we should act, what our role should be, how we should, carry out our lives. And that is where you start to have to listen, like truly listen to yourself, listen to who, to you. Instead of following what you're told.
The following of what you're told is a habit. And what is a habit? Define a habit. It is just a thought that you repeat over and over and over to the point where you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it. It's a habit.
Yeah,
smoking,
exactly.
drinking, making bad decisions over and over again. You can't get out of your own way. It's a habit. Okay. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I wrote an article. I wrote an article called Average to Exceptional.
Love
And
that.
this is what it talks about. Do you want to be average or do you want to be exceptional? Everybody has, most people,
Mm-hmm.
they get married, they have children. Everybody does that. It's average, right? You learn how to read and write and walk and talk and all this stuff. Everybody does that. It's average. It's not that big a deal. Here's what's exceptional about that. Go back in your family tree, 100 years, 200 years. I don't care how far back you go. If any one of those people married somebody else and had a child with somebody else, you would not be here. That's friggin' exceptional. You are exceptional simply
Absolutely.
because you're here.
Yes.
Simply because you're here. Okay. Think, what are the odds? There got to be, I'm sure somebody figured this out. It's got to be in the trillions to one that you
Right.
are here.
Right. I think it
And you're
is
not.
in the trillions to one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So think about this. Everybody wants to be around exceptional people. They look up to exceptional people, right? They listen to exceptional people. Why wouldn't they listen to you?
I
Because
know. I know. I do. Yeah. And I know
you're
you do. And
exceptional.
Carol does.
Yes, you're exceptional when you believe you're exceptional. This
Absolutely.
is this
And
is
everybody is. And
and
everybody
everybody
is.
is, but
You
not
have to
everybody knows it.
realize
Not
that.
everybody believes
Right.
it.
And that's
You
what you
know,
help
this
them
is
do.
this is self-image. This is your self-image. This is why you keep getting in your own way. It's the
Mm-hmm.
self-image. So think about this for a minute. Dr. Wayne Dyer,
Mm-hmm.
he said when you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tony Robbins, if you change your focus, you change your experience. Okay. My favorite one, from Bob Proctor. Don't ask if you're worthy of something better. Ask if that something better is worthy of you.
Oh,
Think about that for a minute.
powerful.
Think about that for a minute.
Powerful.
I had to pull the car. I was listening
Mm-hmm.
to a broadcast. I was listening to an audiobook when I heard that. I had to pull the car over and write that down. I had to
That.
pull the car over and write that down. Don't ask if you're worthy of something better. Ask if something better is worthy of you. When you can answer that question, you will know what you
Mm-hmm.
need to do
Oh, I
to
love
become
that.
exceptional and have that thing be worthy of you. Okay. There's exterior motivation, which is like, I want the car, I want the guy, I want the house, I want the bank account, that's all external. You want to
Mm-hmm.
feel valued and appreciated and all these things that
Feel.
society tells you that you
What
have to
is all,
have.
and also what does all that stuff feel? How does having, there's a reason you want those things. It's not about those things, it's about the feeling. That
Ah,
the bank
it's about
account feeling of freedom that the
it's
bank
about how
account gives you.
it's about belief. It's about you believe you're going to have this feeling. How many millionaires are out there are
Yeah.
miserable?
Oh God,
Because
yeah.
they're not,
Right.
because of the inner work. They didn't do the inner work. You have to do that first. You have to get your foundation straight first. If you want to build a house, the first thing you have to do is build that foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. You want
Yeah.
a bigger house, you add to the foundation or you reinforce the one that you've got. This is foundational work. This is what I do. This is what
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I get inside just I'll get in there and I'll figure out what's making you tick. Where's the block? Where's the
Mm-hmm.
block? And it's not like I'm not blowing smoke up anybody. I've done this. I had to do it with myself. I had to do it with myself, and I
Thank you.
came out the other side because every human being has that deep, dark place where they hide their shame, their guilt, their embarrassment, their resentment,
Mm-hmm.
their regrets, all of this stuff. On the other side of all of that bullshit is the person you were supposed to be all along.
Absolutely. Carol
Bullshit that is
Boston.
keeping your way.
Carol Boston says we don't describe what we see what we describe. 100%.
Absolutely.
Everything is
Absolutely.
perception. Every
Absolutely.
single thing.
Everything is percent. I got some notes here, so I want to throw a couple of things at
Share
you.
it. Share
I
it.
got a
Share it.
boatload of notes because I knew I was coming and I wanted to do that. I wanted to make this empowering, and I wrote things down. Thoughts are the language of your mind. Your
Mm,
feelings are the language of your body, the language of your soul. Okay? When your thoughts and your feelings are in sync, is there anything you can't accomplish? Is there anything you can't accomplish? Guys, girls,
Absolutely.
listen, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way.
Mm-hmm.
When you combine a clear intention, when you really are laser focused, I know this is what I want. This is why I want it. When you combine a clear intention with an emotion, an elevated emotion, you literally begin to change your physiology. You begin to move the body out of the past and into the future because you're creating it just from your thoughts, guys. Just from your thoughts. If you think it, you can do it. Walt Disney said, if you can dream, you can do it. Right?
Absolutely.
Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right.
I say that on every freaking episode.
Yeah.
Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you're right.
How you think and how you feel is your state of being. It is your self-image. Look in the mirror, guys. Look in the mirror. Look into your own eyes. And if you don't like what's looking back at you, you got some work to do. That's where we come in. That's where Coach comes in. That's where Coach comes in.
Yes,
And
it is.
it matters because there's so many people who just are either they're afraid to ask for help or they don't know what kind of help. They don't know what they're doing. So reach out. Okay. There are people who can help you and want to help you. All right. Nobody should be miserable. Nobody. There's too
No.
much in this world to be miserable. Your
Right.
perception is your reality. This is how you see your life. What do you look at? When you wake up in the morning, you get up out of bed and your feet hit the floor. You saying thank you for another day, or are you saying, oh, shit, I gotta go to work again and this is going to happen? And that you're setting an intention for the day. It's these simple, seemingly insignificant things that stack up. And all these little wins, all these little positives stack up just the same way the negatives do.
Absolutely. Yes. What you give energy to grows. What you give energy to grows. So choose to give energy to something great and magnificent.
So
because
let me. I'm sorry, I may keep interrupting you.
No, it's okay. I think that there's a delay, like when I speak, because
A
I'm
little bit.
speaking through a headset, and then you have like your speakers. That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no worries. But I wanted to say, Carol Boston says, yes, I believe we can all benefit from having a good coach. Absolutely. I mean, how many coaches I have worked with, how many programs I've signed up, books I've read. That's what we do. You know, that's what we're doing. We're on that path of self-awareness and growth. And it's lifelong. I mean, me, Carol will always be looking for how even better can I show up? How even more can I give? How much more can I, bring forth of myself that, will be a light for someone else.
Exactly. Now I'm going to ask you and your audience to do a little experiment with me. You grab a blank piece of paper. Just grab a blank piece of paper. Simple thing.
Got it.
Yes. Simple thing. Grab a blank piece of paper. On the top, just draw a line across and then draw a line down the middle. So you got two columns.
Mm-hmm. A line down across at the top.
Line across the top and a line down the middle. You got two columns. On the left side on the top, write what I want. Just write the words, what I want. On the right side, write what I expect. And you guys can fill in the blanks later, but this is the point of this exercise. The results you're getting will always tell you what your expectations are. Think about this for a minute. The results you get will always tell you what expectations are. You want the new house. Do you expect to get it? Or hell yeah, I expect to get it. Well, maybe I'll get it.
Oh, hell fuck yeah.
What are your expectations? This is mindset, guys. This is foundation. This is where all of this starts to come into play. And once one thing clicks, it starts to domino and it falls together fast. It falls together that fast. You know what it is? It's the demands and the risks that keep you in your chair. Okay. So I'm 55 years old. Let's say it takes me 5 years till I'm 60 years old to achieve my goals. I've set this goal. I want this. It's going to take me 5 years to get there. Okay. How old am I going to be in 5 years if I don't get there? I'm
Same,
still going
same
to be
fucking
60.
age.
So why wouldn't I go for it? Why wouldn't I go for it?
This is
It's going to be
powerful,
harder to
guys.
start when I'm 60. It's going to be a hell of a lot harder to start when I'm 60 than it is now. All right, fine. It took me 45, almost 50 years to get my head out of my ass and realize that, you know what, I've been doing something wrong. But now that my head's out of there, it ain't going back in. It's a lot brighter out here. I like it.
But that's also part of your gift. That first 45, 50 years is also part of the gift.
Because it's the experience.
Mhm.
It's the experience that I can bring to the table now. I wrote this down because I wanted to get this right. You know how in Disney World, the people who dream up all the rides and stuff, they're called Imagineers, right?
Yes.
Bob Proctor came up with something called Visioneering. Visioneering. Shut off your
Love that.
senses. Shut off your senses. Okay? Envision what you want. Build the picture in your mind of what it is that you want. Take your emotions out of it for a minute. Can you still see it? Think about this for a minute. This
It's hard to
is
take
really
my
difficult.
emotions. Like, when I
This
start to
is
think
why
about
I'm
the
doing
things
it.
that I want, it's like it wells
Okay.
up such a passionate boiling right here in my heart
Yeah,
space. I
it does.
feel what I want because of my why.
So many people are stuck on the five senses, though. Okay.
Fives. Okay,
There's,
explain that.
all right. You have five senses. Most people have
Mhm,
five senses: sight, sound,
mhm,
touch, smelling, tasting. Right?
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take
Oh, those
let's
5 senses. I thought you were totally talking about something completely. You're talking about take the 5 senses out, like, whenever you envision something that you
yeah,
want, take out the
yeah,
tasting of it, the seeing of it,
right.
okay. Oh, okay, I
Let
was
me,
thinking something completely different.
that's okay. Let me finish my thought on this and then
Okay,
see if
I
somebody can
apologize.
understand. There is a sixth sense. I'm not talking about ESP here. There's a
Right.
sixth sense. It's the sense of self. So let me go through this for a minute. Let's just pretend, for argument's sake, because I don't have it in front of me. Let's say I have, I don't know, an orange. I'm holding an orange in my hand. Well, you can't hear an orange, right? So take away hearing. You still have sight, taste, touch, smell, right? You still have those four. I'm trying to get in front of the camera with that black and white picture. So now let's say you can't see it. You can still taste it, you can smell it and touch it. Well, let's say we take smell away. So now you can taste and touch, but you really can't taste, because if you talk to any doctor, they will tell you that smell is just as important to taste it. You can't taste anything if you can smell it. So let's take taste and smell away. So now all you got left is touch. Okay. If we took touch away and you lost your five senses, is there anything left of you? What's left of you? What's left of you? Do you exist without your five senses? This is
That
yourself.
is a
This
big
is
que
yourself.
oh, wow, I love that.
This is yourself. This is the person you were always supposed to be before all the bullshit from the interactive world got into your head and fucked you up. You still are here. You still exist. God, whoever it is you believe in, you're here for a reason. Okay? It's not to see, smell, taste, touch, and feel. Maybe it is. Maybe you have those things to experience life.
Yeah.
Okay? But you're still you without it.
Mhm.
You're still you. You're still there. So if we took those five senses away and all that's left is yourself, your awareness of you,
Mhm.
what can you do with that? What can you do with your awareness of yourself? When you take
Wow.
away the want of things and you're left with you're left with yourself, you realize the house, the car, the money, all this stuff, the girl, the guy, whatever it is. Yeah, but I still have value.
Oh,
I
yes.
still I still have value without those things. This is the difference. This is external motivation, which is all the things, versus internal motivation. You are
Mm.
worth so much more than you've given yourself credit for. But the fact that you're here
Mhm.
tells you how much you can do, how much you can accomplish. You can have anything that you want once you get out of your, listen to me, get out of your head, get into your heart. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's the single most difficult but most powerful thing you're ever going to do, because you're going to have to face your demons to do it.
Mhm.
But once you face them, they're gone. Once you face them, they're gone. And all that's left is whatever the hell you want to make. It's that blank piece of paper. It's
Abso-freaking-lutely.
that blank piece of paper that you can write anything
Mhm.
on. Okay.
Mhm.
So, what do you want? What do you expect? Where's yourself in this? Where's yourself in this? I'm not done yet. I got more.
I did
um,
wanna say we have a
oh,
Facebook user that says hello, and it looks like they're doing a clappy clappy and a
thank
hug.
you.
I don't know who you are because you're probably watching from my private Facebook group, Deep Frickin'licious and You. So put your name in the chat and say, "Hey, it's so and so we can celebrate you."
Please. Yes, I would love to chat. I'm not seeing any chats, but I'm not seeing any of the comments, but I'm thrilled that you are here. Thank you. So let me ask you something else. You have who you are, right? Who you think you are, right? There was a label that was given to you by you and everybody around you of who you are supposed to be, right? Who are you
Mhm.
supposed to be? Everybody fails at who you are supposed to be. The question is, can you succeed at being who you are? Who are you? You got to find that first. You got to find who you are first. Can you
Oh, I
succeed
love
at
it.
being, can you love
Mhm.
who you are? Do you love yourself? Do you even like yourself? Why are you looking away from your own eyes when you're looking in that mirror? Because there's something there that you don't want to confront.
Explain that, John. We were talking about that before the broadcast went live, and you talked about, you asked the question, what do most people do when they catch their eye? Like, just you
Yeah,
talk. You say
when
that.
you're in the bathroom in the morning, guys, when you're shaving in the morning, ladies, when you're putting your makeup on in the morning and you're looking at your face, every once in a while your eyes will catch your own eyes looking back at you. What do most people do? They look away. Why? Why aren't you looking into your own eyes? The mirror is the best friend you will ever have in your life, because you cannot lie and bullshit to the person looking back at you. The person looking back at you knows everything that you have ever done, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Mhm.
Okay. If you're not looking into your own eyes, there's something that you are trying to hide from yourself. Capital SELF. Capital SELF.
Mhm.
Yourself. You're trying to hide. There's something there that you haven't dealt with yet. Okay. So I'm asking you again, do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? Because you can't love anybody else until you love yourself.
I frickin' agree with that statement. I had a guest
Rick
on
can agree.
before, and I frickin' agree. You know me, I have to always talk with
I
extra
love it.
syllables.
Absolutely love
And I
it.
had him on here, and I understood. I had a gentleman on here. He was wonderful, an incredible guest named John Dorf, and he was of the opposite opinion that yes, you can love someone else without first loving yourself. And he went on to explain, and I could understand his perspective. I don't necessarily agree with it because I think that, and just in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
that love of self must you must feel that first before, because the other person is as well an extension of you. We all are one. Everything is of
Yeah.
itself. That's my belief. My
Uh,
belief.
I agree with you.
We are all one. I'm as much a part of you as I am the cup that holds the water that I'm drinking.
Yep.
And if I can't look at my own self and go, wow, Stephanie, I love you. Um, how am I? Because I am whole, perfect, and complete. But then how can I look at myself and like not love myself or think that I'm not whole, perfect, and complete, or I suck or whatever, and then look at you, John, and go, oh, but John, oh, it's like, it's almost like, I feel it's like an inauthentic, fake, and maybe fake it in the right way, but inauthentic, like, love for you. Like, I'm looking for something outside of myself,
That's
because
just the
everything
opposite.
exists within everything. Yeah. So, but again, I understood his perspective, and I,
Yeah,
respected his perspective,
absolutely.
and he's
But
a
I would
wonderful human
suggest
being.
that it's just the opposite. That when you see somebody that you look up to, or you see somebody that has a quality that you have, it's that quality that you are looking for inside of you, inside of yourself, and you
Yes.
haven't found it. So you're
Mhm.
looking outside for it. This is the inner work, guys. This is the inner work. That quality that you're looking for from somebody else, which is, sometimes in a relationship, you see something, you can be polar opposites because that person has something that I love about them because I don't have it. Yeah, you do. You just haven't found it.
Yes.
You just haven't found it. You forgot you had it. You never knew you had it. Whatever it is, it's there. It's everything you need and everything you want is already inside yourself.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Go find it. Go find it. Go find
And I
it.
wanted to say, Carol says you must separate your who from your do. We have Lauren Becky. Hey girl, hi, thank you for joining us. She's like, yes, right on. And then Carol, I think, is left, but she's like, great conversation, guys. Thanks. Have a great evening. Thank you so much, Carol, for being on this evening and sharing
Thank
your
you,
words
Carol.
of fabulous wisdom as well. And Lauren says, always inside out. Love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, no breakthrough is ever going to come from self judgment. No breakthrough will ever come from self judgment. Now, think about this for a minute. When you prejudgment, what does that word sound like? Prejudice.
Mm.
You're being
Ooh.
prejudiced to yourself. Are you, think about this for a minute? Are you being prejudiced to yourself when you hear that, oh, I'm not good enough? That's for other people. I can't do that. You're prejudging yourself. You don't know if you can do it. You never tried. Even if you did try, get up and try it again. You'll know what not to do the second time because you did it already. Don't
Mhm.
prejudge yourself. Don't be prejudiced against you. And once you learn, once you
Mm.
get this, and once you really
Ah.
get this and it sinks in and you stop judging yourself, guess what else is going to happen? You're not going to judge anybody else either.
Oh,
Because you're going to
absolutely.
because you're going to realize that shit, I'm just the same. I got the same fears as everybody else. I have the
Mhm.
same desires and dreams, whatever it is. Now, there's something else that I wanted to throw out there, and I'm probably going to stir the pot up a little bit with this, but as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, I'm a coach, but I have an opinion. I have a thought, and I want to throw this out there. There are kids today and adults, there's people today who have a drug problem, a drinking problem, a gambling problem, a money management problem, a sex problem, whatever it is. I want to suggest that whatever that is the symptom and not
Right.
the problem. The
Right. Oh,
problem is the self image. I'm not good enough and I don't want to deal with it. So I'll bury it under drugs and booze or whatever it is. It's the self,
100%.
guys, ladies, gentlemen,
Mhm.
nothing. Okay, write this down.
Write it
If you
down,
don't,
guys.
if Carol calls him a writer downer,
I love her.
I knew
She's
you get a
fabulous.
kick out of that. If you don't change anything, you don't change anything. Put the emphasis on the word change in the beginning. If you don't change anything, you don't change anything. Put the emphasis on anything on the back end of it. If you don't change
Mhm.
anything, you don't change anything. And what has to change? Your perception, your thought pattern. It starts with you. It's the inner work. This is the foundational work that I do. Okay. This is what I
Love
love.
it.
This is why I love doing this. This is the single most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life because all I have to
I
do is
love to
reach
hear that.
one person. And that person could be the one who changes the world. And if I can reach one, I can reach two, and I can reach 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? So can you. So can you.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with getting the bullshit out of your belief system. It starts with the foundational work. It starts with the yes, I can, not the no, I can't. You've lived with the no, I can't for too long. It's time to flip the record over.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? I'm old enough. I'm not, Steph, I don't know if you are. I'm not asking. It's none of my business. I'm old enough to remember when we actually had records, LPs, okay? And
Yeah,
the
I
needle,
remember that. Yeah.
the record stuck, the record stuck, the record stuck, the record, you're stuck.
Oh yeah, a broken record or a broken.
You're
Yes,
stuck.
yeah, broken record. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Pick up the needle, flip the record over, and play what's on the other side. Because guess what? You haven't heard that side yet. You've been stuck.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
else is there?
Oh, love that. What a great
Flip
analogy, guys.
the record
Holy
over. You haven't
shit,
heard
that
that
was
side of
good.
it yet.
That was good. I love that.
It's just about step one. I want you to think about, some people like to read, some people don't like to read. I like to read.
Oh yeah, I love to read.
Listen. I like to listen to audiobooks. Okay. I got an hour drive. I'm going to listen to an audiobook. Okay. I listen to music too, but I'm listening to audiobooks. Feed your mind with something that's going to empower you and bring you up. Okay.
Thank you.
Feed your mind.
Mm.
Surround yourself with the people that can help you get where you want to go. You become the top 5 people that you spend the most of your time with. Okay. And it's all external influences. Okay. It's all external influences. You become the top 5 people you spend the most time with. I want to get around Warren Buffett. I cannot tell you how much I want to get around Warren Buffett. My chances are slim to none, but he's got books, he's got videos, he's got articles. I can get around his knowledge. So if you can't get around the person that you want to get around, go back to step one. Find the book that they wrote, find the article that they wrote, find the interview that they did. You'll get the information you're looking for. There is a way. What else is possible? Carol. Carol.
What else is possible?
Right? Seriously, she's right. If you don't change anything, you don't change anything. You got to
Thank
change
you.
something.
And you know
And
what
I
I
want
also like? I want to add to that. Anything, John. I always say if anything is possible for anyone, anything is possible for anyone.
Anyone. Absolutely.
But it starts here and it starts here. It starts between here.
I want to suggest to you, when I started this off, I think, I don't know if I mentioned, I know we talked about this before we actually went live, but if there's one word that you can take and just eradicate it from your vocabulary, please, this is the only thing you get from tonight. Eradicate the word failure from your vocabulary. It doesn't exist. Failure does not exist. There's no such thing as failure. Failure is a thought. Okay. It's a bad habit, like every other thought that has got you exactly where you are if it's not where you want to be. Okay. Failure is a thought. Every action has a result.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not getting the results you want, that's not failure. That's your surroundings, yourself, capital SELF, telling you you need to change your action. It's not failure.
Different
It's
course, different trajectory.
Yes. Guys, 2mm shift, right? If you're going in a straight line and you make a 2mm shift, 6 years from now, 2 years from now, 2 months from now, you're on a completely different path. You're on a completely different path. It's such a simple thing. Start by looking in the mirror. If you can't do it, find somebody who do it with you. Find a coach who will walk you through this. Okay? Start with reading a book. Start with watching a video. It's something that's empowering to you. What are the things that you say to yourself? Sorry. What are the things that you say to yourself that are empowering to you? Okay. I got a list of questions that I ask from my clients, and I'm going to read a couple of them to you.
I want to hear them.
What are your 3 greatest strengths? Because a lot of people say, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. I can't. Well, what can you
Right.
do?
Right.
What are your 3 greatest strengths? Tell me about your first achievement. The first thing you ever did that you felt proud of you.
Love it.
Really, seriously. What do you enjoy doing? What do you like to
Thank you.
do? What do you like to do? This is not earth shattering, we're not blowing up the earth here. All right, these are simple questions. What are you most
Right,
proud of
guys.
in life?
Really. Yeah.
What are you most
Absolutely.
proud of in your life? What do you like about yourself? I didn't say love, I said like. What do you like about yourself? Because you can't love yourself until you like yourself. That's got to
Mhm.
come first, right? What are some unusual skills you have? What are some weird, quirky things that you have? Like nobody else can figure out how to do this, but you got it. You can. You can do this. What do you get complimented on? What do you get complimented on? And I'm willing to bet that whatever it is you get complimented on, yeah, thank you, but I can't
Oh,
do this,
right.
I can't do that, and I can't do the other thing.
Thank
You,
you.
you stuck
Mhm.
record stuff, the
Mhm.
record stuff, change, flip the record over, play the other side. All right, seriously, um, if oh, think about something that made you really, really happy. What was it? What was it that made you really, really happy? What made you feel that? What was an accomplishment that you had that made you feel on top of the world? What was the
Mhm.
crowning achievement of your life so far? I tell you, I was off the charts. Nobody could take me down from the cloud I was on the day my children were born. You know, and my ex and I, we still fight. We still have that challenge because well, there's a lot of reasons for that.
Mhm.
Um, but at the end of the day, even though she's my ex, I will always love that woman. We're never going to get back together again. When I don't know if we're ever going to be able to be friends again. She's not ready for that yet, and I'm okay with that because I'm on a different path than she is, and I've accepted that. But no matter what happens in the future, I'm always going to hold a piece of. She's always going to be in my heart. She gave me the greatest gift any woman could ever give a man. She gave me my children. How could I not have some love for her, even though we're not in love
Oh,
anymore?
I love that you own that. You own that. That's awesome.
But it's honest. It's
Absolutely.
just it's
Right.
just the
But
truth.
but but again, John, it comes from this work that you've done for and through yourself. Because
And
you
it's a
know that
hard
you hear
job.
so many people who try to poison their children against their ex and they hate one
I will
another. And
never,
yeah, I mean, and,
never
and, and
say
again,
something.
where does that stem from or cultivate from? And again, it's all from within, but you've done that amazing work for and through yourself.
And guys, did I? You and I talked about the emotional color palette. Did we talk about it live?
Yes. Yeah.
We talk about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
No, I don't think we did. I don't think, or wait a minute. I don't know because it's so funny because we were talking before, like for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, what? But share it again because I'm sure we have different people on now than we
yeah.
did, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a guy, I know how to talk to guys. Guys talk to each other. We have our own language. We have our own
Yes.
physical body language. The words that we use. I can just look at you and know what's going on. We guys.
Hmm.
Okay, we're guys.
Hmm.
It's just the way we think. Men and women think differently. Men and women communicate differently. This is so difficult for some men to get. Okay. And women don't understand why we're so damn stubborn, dense, and thick-headed. I'm going to explain why. Because one of the reasons, there's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons, because boys were brought up with things like boys don't cry. Boys don't cry. You got a bloody nose and a scraped knee. Your arm's still attached. Get back in the football game. What are you doing? Boys don't cry. Girls cry. Girls cry.
Hmm.
It's that repression of emotion.
Hmm.
The single list, ladies, listen to me. The single biggest fear a man has, any man, is to look weak in front of the woman he loves.
Hmm.
Period. He cannot look weak. He cannot come off as being weak. It just put a knife through my heart right now. I cannot appear weak. I can't. That's the stubborn, dense, and thick-headed. Okay. Women, on the other hand, were taught that it's okay to feel and experience every emotion. And I call it, this is just me talking, I call it an emotional color palette. Okay. When a guy tells a story, this happened, that happened, the other thing happened, the end. When a girl tells a story, you're there. You're experiencing it with her. You're living it all over again with her. Okay. Whether you want to or not, but you're there because she doesn't know any other way to tell that story. An event happened. She attached an emotion to it and it's a memory burned in her brain. And that's fine. That's how women communicate. Guys, when we are worried about something, we need to shut down. We need to shut down. When women are worried about something, they need to talk about it because that's how the women
Yes.
process, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Women, you ladies, I love you all, but you're driving us crazy when you want to. John, I know something's bothering you. Will you please talk to me? No, I don't want to talk to you. It's not you. It's how I process what's going on in my head. It's not you. And this is also the same reason why when women have a challenge that you're trying to overcome, we, again, cannot appear weak in front of you. We want to fix this. We want to
Yeah.
help you. We love
Well, there's
you.
that book when
And
men are from Mars,
Men Are From
women are
Mars,
from
Women Are From Venus.
Venus.
Yeah, great book. It's an
Pretty
awesome
damn
book.
spot on
Yeah,
accurate. It's funny
absolutely.
too. And it's
So
funny
when
too.
it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
absolutely. I highly recommend reading that book.
Yes.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? I may read it again. It's been a while, but I love that book. But guys, women now don't. Women have this thing inside their head. It's called the brain. Okay, they know how to fix their own problems.
Yeah.
The problem that
Yeah.
men have, ladies, is we don't know when you want us to fix it or when you want us to just shut up and listen so you can fix it yourself. Because that's how you fix things, by talking about it, getting it out. That's how you process things, right? And
Hmm.
Steph, tell me if I'm wrong. You're a woman. Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
About how women, yeah, oh,
Right?
absolutely. I mean, that's what I mean. Especially me. I love to talk about things. I love to get deep. I want to understand the root of the problem but like I said earlier, I am a fixer. I am a doer. I'm not
Yeah.
looking just to vent, you know, but I'm also not looking, maybe just because I'm venting doesn't necessarily mean that I want you to solve the problem, because that's a bad habit. But I think where you're saying that men are like, I want to fix it. I'm just like, sometimes I just want you to listen, let me vent, because I'm going to come to the solution within my own self. But
Right.
also looking, for input. But again, I think it's just that ear. Women just need to talk and get it out. But see, that's why, we process emotions better, is because we
Oh,
do
women,
get it out. We don't hold things in.
ladies, I'm going to say this. Gentlemen, pay attention. Gentlemen, pay attention. Ladies, I'm going to say this. Okay. I'm a guy. I'm going to own this for every guy on the planet. When it comes to feeling and experiencing emotion, ladies, you are light years ahead of us. Light years ahead of us. Okay. And this isn't guy bashing because you're a guy and you're not a girl.
No,
Guys, that's what
no,
I'm doing. But let me
right.
throw out a not so hypothetical situation to you. Okay. A man does not know when you want us to help you and when you want us to shut up and listen. So, Stephanie, you come to me with a problem, okay?
Yeah.
And you're venting. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be listening and hearing and just letting you get it out, or if I'm actually supposed to actually be paying attention because you want me to fix this. So and I should be paying attention anyway, but since I
Hmm.
don't know if you want to fix it yourself, I'm going to drift off. And as you're talking, as we're looking at each other, and as we're talking, I'm going to reach over and just glance at that piece of paper, and you're
Hmm.
going to, first thing out of your mouth is go, are you even listening to me? Yes, I'm listening. What did I just say? Oh, shit. And now guess what? He feels weak in front of you. And what does he do when he feels weak? He goes deep.
Gets
Men clam
defensive
up. He
or
clams up. He
gets
goes deep
defensive.
inside himself, or gets defensive, but he gets inside
Hmm.
himself because now he's embarrassed. Now he's weak. He's ashamed. He's embarrassed in front of the woman he loves because he doesn't know how to help you. And he just screwed up. Okay.
Hmm.
But at the same time, he was making an attempt to figure out, girls, please, men are stupid. Okay.
No, I don't
Let
like
me, let
that.
me, let me, let
Yeah.
me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. SEX, stupid. Okay, we're stubborn, dense, and thick-headed. We know
Okay.
what we know. We know what we know.
Oh, I thought you said sex. SD as in dog X. Stubborn. Say that
Dense.
again. Sound like you
Well,
said sex. I'm like,
I did
sex?
say sex, but we'll get into that later. We'll get into that in a minute. We have we are we're programmed a certain way. We're in a box. We're in a box. Okay, ladies, you got a circle. Okay, that color wheel, that palette, that emotional color palette. You live inside there. We live in a box. Okay, and there's four walls on that box. We can't fit the box into the circle. The circle
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
always fit into the
Yeah.
box. We don't know how to communicate with each other. One of us has to take a wall down. There's got to be an opening in that circle. There's got to be a wall that comes down. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is a team effort. This isn't one of you creating a problem or trying to solve a problem. You're both doing it together. Okay? Think about the relationship part of this. A relationship takes two people. My marriage didn't fail because I did something wrong or she did something wrong. My marriage failed because we both did something wrong. Whether we can both admit it, that's a different story. But that's the fact.
Yeah.
Present. Are you there for her? Gentlemen, and this is also a two-way street, so let me get this out.
Hmm.
Can you look into her eyes sincerely? Look into her, not only just stare into her, I mean, sincerely from your heart, look into her eyes. Find that little girl who still wants to be held and told that everything's okay and I got you. Can you be present for her? Now, think about this for a minute, guys. Women are light years ahead of us emotionally. They'll know when you're completely full of shit or not. They can feel it. It's inherent. It's in their DNA. We are not in control of this. They are. So you better damn well be sincere. But when you are sincere and you find her heart and you find her soul in her eyes, she will elevate you to a level of manhood you will never fucking attain on your own ever. Ever. Let me say that
You hear
again.
that, guys?
When you can find her heart and her soul in her eyes,
Hmm.
she will elevate you to a level of manhood you will never attain on your own. Ladies, it goes the same way.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
biggest fear a man has is being weak in front of you. Gentlemen, you have to. The girls want to look into your eyes and find that person, that weak, that scared person. You have to
That
be
scared little
vulnerable
boy.
to let
The
her do
scared
it.
little boy. Hmm.
You have to be vulnerable enough. Vulnerability to a man is brutal. It is torture. It is prison. But let me
I
tell you
don't
the
like
other
being
prison.
vulnerable.
Well, you know what? But that's where courage is. That's where you grow. That's where
Hmm.
you grow from vulnerability. Think about how vulnerable were you the first time you did this podcast? How nervous were you? You were stepping outside your comfort zone. This could have crashed and
Yeah.
burned and you
Oh,
embarrassed
yeah.
everybody in the world. But look what came from it. A strength,
Absolutely.
a confidence, a
Hmm.
following, and you're doing massively important work. You're getting people in touch with people. You're getting people in front
Yes.
of others who know how to help you.
When I mean
You're
vulnerable, I
doing
mean like feeling like you're under attack or feeling like you're out of control of a particular situation that may be threatening to you. That's not, I don't mean like this kind of stuff. I mean like if somebody is hurting you in some way or
like
you're in a
physical,
painful situation. That's what I mean when I say I don't
physical
like to
attack
be
to the.
vulnerable.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
that's yeah.
physical. I'm not talking about physical vulnerability. I'm talking emotional vulnerability. Guys, you have to be emotionally vulnerable to her because, like I said, when when you can find that little girl, she will lift you up like you can't imagine. But when you let her find that little boy, that lifts
Hmm.
her up. That lifts her up. And when the two of you are lifting each other up, where's the problem? When the two of you are lifting each other up,
Absolutely.
how much stronger is your relationship? It becomes more than just physical and emotion. It's a spiritual relationship at this point. This is who I am not the same without her. She's not the same without me. It's that coming together. Guys, I know people who have marriages that are just I could only dream of a marriage that good. And I know people who are unbelievably successful whose marriages suck. I'd rather have the marriage. That's me. All right. Yeah, I'd like all the other external things, but I want
Yeah.
the relationship. I want the marriage. You know, there's 8 billion people on this planet, guys. Half of them are women. There's a woman out there for you. There's a man
Yeah.
out there for you, ladies. He's there. He's out there. But go back to what I was talking about before about the inner. Love yourself first,
Mm.
and the right person will show up. It's
Absolutely.
unreal.
Thank you.
Think about when you professionally, when you're
Thank you. Thank you.
doing what
Thank
needs
you.
to be done, you get noticed in the job, right? When you're doing what needs to be done in yourself, you
So many
can't
people
lose.
find their self-worth outside of themselves for the validation from others or from the attention,
Internal versus
from
external.
others.
Yeah.
And it's like what you've been talking about this whole time is about that sense of self, cultivating that deep sense of self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Yeah. We're going through the motions, guys. We're just kind of like in it. We're just kind of coasting. Okay.
Hmm.
But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be
No.
that way. All you have to do is really make a decision. It's really about making a decision. The most successful people in the world did not do it on their own. They had help. Ask. What's the worst thing somebody can say? No, I can't help you. Go to the next person and ask. There's somebody who can help you. Find them. Find her. Do you have any idea how many people Stephanie has helped with this podcast by herself? Not only the
Thank
people
you.
that she's had on the podcast as the guest, but the people who have watched it may have learned something that completely turned their life around.
Thank you. I hope so.
Seriously, this is one of Stephanie, seriously, for real, this is one of your gifts. And I cannot tell you
Thank you.
how proud I am to be a part of it.
Thank you.
But it's not
Oh, I'm so
me. But I'm not proud of it for me because being a coach is about service before self. I can help you. There's somebody on this planet I know how to help. It
hmm
may not be you, but you may know somebody that I can help. I
hmm
can help one person. I can help 2 people. But you know what? You
Big
can
time.
too. You can too.
hmm
Believe in yourself.
hmm
Believe in you. Start to love you. And you're going to fall down. You're going to have a bad day. What the fuck am I doing? All this I love myself crap. You're going to have a day like that.
Yeah.
Get up, do it again.
If we're
Every
speaking,
morning you wake
if
up,
we're speaking
find
a
this
foreign language, if we are speaking a foreign language to anybody that might be listening or watching on the replay, there is it doesn't have to be foreign language because it's something that every person on the planet possesses and carries with them.
we're all human. We're going
hmm
through the same thing at the same time. We're
hmm
alive. It's
Oh yeah.
2021.
It's a
We're all
collective
here on this
experience.
planet. It's a collective experience. The details may be different, but we're all going through the same thing. There's 8 billion people here. You don't think anybody's experienced what you're going through right now and came through the other side? Once you figure it out, do you think you can help somebody else who's about to go through it, but you came through the other side? I'm telling you to become a coach, but I'm telling you to just care a little bit, love a little
Right.
bit more, love a little bit more than you did yesterday. Love a little bit more than you did yesterday. Love yourself a little bit more than you did yesterday. You're worth it. You are worth it.
Yes.
You're worth it. Just get that into your head. I am worth it. That's it. Get that into your head and get failure out of your vocabulary. You do those 2 things, you're gonna fly. But you got to believe it in your heart. Get out of your head and get into your heart. Get it into your heart. I am worthy. I am
hmm
enough. When it's in your heart, things happen. It's
Especially
amazing.
if you're a man watching tonight, he specifically coaches men. And or if you know a man or a male in your life that could benefit from working with John, please. The ways in which to get a hold of him are linked in, within the description. John will as well come back and post links? I know that he's got. Tell us about your podcast, the podcast you've got going on.
Okay.
Before we.
Yeah, we have. I mean, a friend of mine named Maurice Zondag. He bounces back and forth between the Netherlands and Switzerland. I'm in Florida, and we met through another group, and we teamed up and created our own podcast called The Mentoring Men. And it's about men, by men, for men, talking to men the way men talk to each other. Okay, and we have our website up, thementoringmen.com. We have our website up, and we just launched our class. Our class is starting on January 8th. It's going to be 12 Saturdays in a row. Okay. And it's about 2 hours each Saturday. And you're getting two coaches, okay, who are foundational coaches. Maurice is a relationship coach. I'm a foundational coach. Okay. And we're both men's empowerment coaches. We've both been divorced. We've both been through all kinds of crap. We've done this. And we found
There you go, guys.
Come to the Mentoring Men, check it out, take the course. It's I'm telling you, you guys, it's called the Mind Master Blueprint. Do we have time to so I can tell everybody where the Mind Master thing came from?
Where the what now?
The Mind Master acronym came from? Do I have 2
Yes,
minutes?
absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Years ago, when I was 12 years old, I took my first martial arts class. Like most of the guys my age at that time, late 70s, early 80s, martial arts classes was the big thing. And my first teacher, we didn't call him sensei or anything. We called him master. We had to call him master. Mm-hmm. It bothered me. I hated that. It just sounded so pompous and arrogant and presumptuous. I just didn't like it. I didn't stick with him. But he did teach me the first lesson, the law of humility. The first lesson I ever learned. There's always somebody out there who knows more than you do, so stay humble. That's stuck in my head. But yet I have to call you master? That didn't sit right. Fast forward 40 years, and I learned that if you change the meaning you give to something, you change the something, right? You change whatever it is that you change the meaning, you change the thing, okay? Everybody's got a mastermind program now. Everybody's got a mastermind program. What am I going to do with this word master? I hate it. Well, let's see. Expert? No, that's not it. I didn't like the word expert. So I just let it go. I blew it off. What I didn't know at the time was that I had given my subconscious mind something new to think about. A couple of weeks later, I'm sitting on the floor with my boys. I think there were 7 or 8 at the time. And my brain spit out an acronym for mastermind. And this was the acronym. Methods and strategies that equal results my intentions now defined. Think about this for a minute. It sounds silly, but to me, it was unbelievably powerful. And I'm saying, there's 8 billion people here. I can't be the only one who thought of this, but I did thought of it. I did thought of it. So then I started to think about it, and I had to turn it around, because I can't give you a method and strategy that equal results if you don't know what your intentions are, if you don't know what and your why first. So I turned it around and it became the Mind Master Blueprint. Okay. And I wrote this program, and this is what we're teaching, guys. We're going to teach you how to figure out what it is you want, how to figure out why you want it. There's a tool that I use called 7 Levels Deep, which I absolutely love. Do that with every one of my clients, because I will have you in tears. You will be in tears. Guys, gentlemen, you will be in tears when I'm done with you after this program. Okay? Because you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And after you figure out what and you figure out why, we're going to show you how. That's what you're getting for 12 weeks. You're getting the 2 of us for 12 weeks. You're getting our cell phone numbers, our email addresses, so you can get in touch with us anytime you need to. We've got the handouts and the books and all of that fun stuff. But you got access to us for the entire 12 weeks anytime you need to call us.
Oh my God, John, that is amazing. Is there a link? Are you able to share a link?
That's a question. I don't know if I can share a link, but I will get it to you.
Meaning, like when the podcast is over, when we've ended the broadcast, and then you can come back under and share in comments, like where people have been commenting.
I think I can do that. Yeah, I will definitely be able to do that. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll put some comments afterwards. Absolutely. Yes.
John, this has been so empowering. I've loved, again, a second time having you on. It's like the room is just lit up. Just the roof has been blown off the house. I love it. Guys, I hope. What now? What'd you say?
you are the one who's empowering to me, and I
Oh,
sincerely
thank
appreciate
you.
everything about you.
Thank you. I really appreciate
You're welcome.
Thank you to all those who have been on and commenting and watching, and I hope you've obtained such value. I know you have. Maybe you'll wake up tomorrow. Sometimes I don't realize value that I have received until like the next day, and I'm thinking about something. I'm like, whoa, that was powerful. Sometimes you have to go and think about things. But guys, thank you so much for being on Empowered Conversations tonight, and I next week, I have a fabulous woman coming on. Her name is Deborah. She's a super amazing woman, and then time off for the holidays for Christmas week. So, but
Yep.
John, again, thank you so much. We're gonna end the broadcast, but we're also going to with under the broadcast, we're going to post the links to get a hold of John, to work with John,
Yeah.
and as well to the Mind Master course and his podcast. Because remember, I was
Hmm.
asking you about your podcast. Like, where can we listen to your podcast? He's like, well, it's only for guys and it's only in my private
It is.
group. I'm like, well,
Uh,
damn, I want to hear it. I mean, because I'm empowered by, doesn't matter, like by men, by women. And if you're empowering men, I want to watch that. I want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Because that still invigorates me and it lights me up.
there's a video that I recorded on my cell phone that I ended up posting onto, instead of going live on the site, I recorded a video and I posted it on the site. I can send you the video.
Yeah,
I'll
cool. I
send you
mean,
that.
because again, that enables me to then share that with other guys. Like, hey, this is what he does. This is what he's talking about. You know?
Oh, and guys, in the interest of being just sincere and honest here, the book that I'm a co-author of a book called Which Leader to Follow. There are 84. I'm gonna keep doing this. There's 84 coaches who have written a little bit about what it is they do, and it's not a coaching book, but it's a book about the coaches that are available to you. All right, and whether it's me or somebody else, there's a coach in this book that can help you probably with your specific problem. And there's coaches
Yes.
who specialize in everything in this book, is what it's about. So take a look at this book. Go onto Amazon, get the book, get the uh, not the ebook, yeah, the ebook on Amazon. What is it? Kindle? Is that what it's called? Kindle. Kindle is what it's called.
Kindle. Uh-huh.
Check it out. And there are people from all over the world. This book is worth having as a
I
reference
love that.
because it's somebody in this book that can help you, whether it's me or somebody else. Okay, I'm not just here promoting myself. This coaching is a passion, and I just love everything about it. I sincerely do, because this is where the legacy is going to come from. This is where my legacy is going to come from, making a difference and making this world better.
Thank
That's
you.
what I
That
want. That's what I want.
yeah. Cold chills.
And that's what we
Cold
all want.
chills.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Yes, guys, you've been amazing again. I'm so glad we got back on here, and so this can be shared with the world through my Buzzsprout, platforms and YouTube as well. Guys, share this with your friends. If you've got any men or males in your life that just that need to be empowered, need to be inspired, live their best life, be their best self, know their self-value and their self-worth, because they have it. It is there. Please watch this podcast. Please follow John. Get a hold of John. Until next week, everybody. Thank you for being a part of Empowered Conversations. John, you stay right here. I'm just going to end the broadcast.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.